want to begin by saying I really hope that the Israeli-Syrian track will succeed. And I really encourage the Syrians and Israelis to move on this track. I firmly believe that the Israeli-Syrian success will contribute to the objective of the Palestinians because we aim to achieve a comprehensive peace in the region. No one scares us anymore by trying to play a track against a track or export fear to us by having peace with Syria and Egypt or Jordan, because today we have an Arab peace initiative that many of you did not even notice, which is the most strategic change in Arab political thinking in the last 60 years. And that is inviting Israel to become a formal part of the Middle East, with embassies from more than 57 countries who are members of the Islamic Conference and the Arab League in exchange for peace. And this cannot happen without peace with Syria. So I believe, to put me with Syria, it's not the sequential things. Problem is, we want Syria to be on these squares of peace and making peace. And that's the most important element in peacemaking. Look, I did not wake up one morning and felt my conscience aching for you as Israelis that I want to make peace with you. Neither did you. You did not wake up one morning as Israelis and felt your conscience aching for my suffering as a Palestinian that you want to make peace with me. It is about interests and needs. I would not have been standing here had you not realized that it's important for your interests and needs that you need to accommodate Palestinians and to reach peace with Palestinians. Okay? The end game, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to eat the apple from the start. The end game is a two-state solution. Palestine, on the 67 borders, living side by side the state of Israel. This is my option. That's what we're trying to achieve with you. Your options are three. And I have to admit in front of you that ever since Eve negotiated Adam, the man who's speaking to you is the most disadvantaged negotiator in the history of mankind. I have no army, no navy, no air force, no economy. My people are fragmented. Lost Gaza. You can call it whatever you want. Your options are three. Number one, and that's my option, that's the two-state solution. I don't think that Jews will convert to Christianity and Islam and become Palestinians. I don't think that Christians and Muslims will convert to Judaism and become Israelis. It's a two-state solution. It's a genuine offer. Today you have a leadership in Palestine that's willing to go ahead with all what it takes to achieve this accommodation. Speak of weak, strong leaders, I don't care. Leaders are motivated by interests and needs and their moment of truth. I don't think leaders are born leaders. Leaders are those who grab the opportunity to understand the interest of what they're trying to serve. That's it. It's not about guts or courage. It's about pinpointing and focusing on what you want as your interests. Your third option is what you don't want to see in the West Bank. Today there are roads in the West Bank I cannot use as a Palestinian. You don't want to see that. You want to close your eyes. Close it. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout history, we have proven, all of us, Muslims, Christians, Jews, atheists, blacks, whites, Arabs, whatever, we all can be inflicted with diseases called racism and bigotry. And we have been able, as humans, once we are infected with such diseases, to justify it. Some people justified it with economics, sociology. Some people went to sexuality. Some people went to security. I don't know. But such diseases, we can explain it. What goes on in the West Bank today is not something you want to see as part of you as Israelis. These are your three options. There is a difference between security and defense. We've learned this. And today, I agree with Yossi, it's doable. But we have come a long way. We did not waste a second of negotiations on talking to each other. In my neighborhood, there are people who have been going to synagogues for 5,700 years, saying the same thing every Saturday, believing they're saying it for the first time and hearing it for the first time. I cannot negotiate a single word of what they say. Next door, there are people who have been going to churches for 2,000 years, saying the same thing every Sunday. I cannot negotiate a single word of what they say. And to the right, in the same neighborhood, there are people who have been going to mosques for 1,430 years, saying the same thing every Friday. I cannot negotiate a single word of what they say. But all I know, God, the Jews, Muslims, and Christians, is a God of peace, God of healing and forgiveness, morality. It's not about bloodshed or vengeance or hatred. And it's time to stop using God for end games that will result in us continuing to go to the cemeteries to bury our children. Nobody will help us if we don't help ourselves. With all due respect to the Americans, Europeans, Canadians, Japanese, Asians, Africans, Latin Americans, everyone on earth want Palestinians and Israelis to achieve peace, and they will stand shoulder to shoulder with us if we deliver the decisions required by Palestinians and Israelis. These decisions are required from Palestinians and Israelis. Americans will not make it for us. Europeans will not make it for us. Nobody else will make it for us. It's up to us. And today, we are standing in the squares of decisions. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's doable. And we have come a long way. And it's time for decisions. And I hope that these decisions are made by leaders. Let me tell you about the code of conduct between us and the Israelis at this stage. I cannot reveal the details of the talks. I'm under oath not to reveal it. But we have serious, in-depth negotiations. The code of conduct is that we aim to achieve an agreement. I don't care what you call it. Don't spend time fighting over the name of this agreement. What matters is that there are issues agreed to be negotiated in permanent status talks, borders, refugees, Jerusalem, settlements, water, security, relations. They all have solutions. It's a package.